with Andy Beavis. Tell us your title at Arctic Cat.
I'm the product team manager for the mountain snowmobiles.
Okay, so we're looking at the 2018 M8000 Sno Pro, and this is an early release, right?
Yep, these are shipping to dealers right now.
So go over, let's start with the new motor. Talk about what you're doing different on this new engine.
Okay, this is our new 800 C-Tech 2 that everybody's been waiting for. Built in Minnesota. It's an Arctic Cat designed and built motor. It's very similar to the 600 C-Tech. It's got a few revisions and improvements over the 600, but it's DSI, cylinder injected. It's got a lot of electrical upgrades and things from the Suzuki motor, electronic oiling.
So Suzuki 800 two-stroke to this, what's the differences there on the 800?
The main differences are there's electronics upgrades to the ECU and the ignition system and the mapping and the oiling, which allows this motor to calibrate a lot better, runs a lot cleaner, a lot more responsive, more power.
Let's move into chassis upgrades. So from the 2017 M8000 Sno Pro to this 2018, what's different?
Okay, on the chassis, this has basically everything that we've learned from the Mountain Cat that we've worked on for the last few years. It has a longer chain case. We're putting that across the board on all the mountain sleds for 2018. It has the narrowed running boards, the lighter tunnel and upgrades that we did on the Mountain Cat last year, as well as some just little things here and there to work with the new plastic and the engine mounting and stuff like that.
So with the new plastic, what was the goal there?
The main goal was to go mountain specific on the plastic and get exactly the things that we wanted to make a mountain sled perform the way that a mountain sled should. Uses the same intake system as the high performance sled and the same air intake vents in the front, which work really good for getting air into the hood. But the whole rider compartment, side panels, and skid plates are unique to the mountain snowmobiles, and specifically the two-stroke mountain snowmobiles.
So were you able to narrow up the body?
Yep, we're about 2 inches narrower per side, and even more than narrowing it, it was a matter of making it work with our ski stance and the width of our running boards, and making it so that this is basically the best side-hilling snowmobile in the industry today. That was our goal.
Okay, so what about the front end? Your front suspension, you're on the Mountain Cat style? Is it
Yep.
a little narrower?
This front suspension was brought out in 2016, and we've made some slight changes, just geometry to the ski bolt location, and to make the handling just a little bit more predictable and dialed in. But the weight savings and the geometry and the 36-inch ski stance is from what we developed in 2016.
Okay, shock packages, what are you doing different there, front and rear?
Okay, the shock package on this early release, it's basically an Arctic Cat Sno Pro package, which is float 3 shocks on the skis and the rear track, and then an IFP coilover on the front arm. What we've changed this year is we've increased the air chamber volumes on both the ski shocks and more specifically on the rear track shock. The rear shock is 1 inch longer, has a negative spring and increased air volume, and then completely redone calibration again.
So what's that affecting on the ride quality?
The big difference is in the sharp bumps and the small stutter bumps, and then being able to calibrate it for a broader range than we were capable with the internals we had before.
Do you know a weight difference between 17 and 18 on the Sno Pro?
Yeah, on the Sno Pro, it's got to be about 16 or 17 pounds, and then this would be like 8 or 9 pounds from the Mountain Cat last year.
Okay. And clutching, this sticks with the clutching we had in 2017?
It's very similar. We're running the team clutches, but new on all the 18 high performance and mountain snowmobiles this year, we have the idler drive clutch for constant belt tension and lower drive away ratios and better all. Again, on the mountain sled, it makes a big difference in technical riding.
So how does that idler drive clutch work to keep constant drive tension?
So basically there's a needle bearing roller on the post of the drive clutch. and all the shimming in the secondary is taken out so that it tries to pull the belt tight at all times. So it pulls it tight against the post, and the idler bearing is rotating when the engine's idling, and then as soon as you grab the throttle, the clutches grab the belt at the lowest possible ratio.
The running board is just exactly what was this on the 2017 Mountain Cat.
Yep.
So how is that different than the Sno Pro?
It's an 1.1 narrower right at the front, and then the same width at the back, again to facilitate side hilling. And then we've also, on the Mountain Cat and on these, we moved the possible foot position, 2 inches further forward for better alignment with steering when you're aggressively side hilling.
Okay.